All right. Actually forgot to bring up one other thing. I wanted to talk really quickly about hiring SEO help. And the reason I want to talk about that is because I realized I did a section talking about how much SEO costs, but I never actually talked about the details and specifics to, hiring an agency versus hiring a consultant. And I want to go through that really quickly. Um, so the first thing I want to talk about is hiring an agency. Hiring an agency is going to be the easiest thing that you've ever done. And that's because all you need to do is have money. And and to be quite honest with you, it provides you with a sense of freedom and a sense of having this weight off of your shoulders. And that's because you're pretty much giving the keys over to experts who know exactly what to do, who have done it before, and who will likely continue to do it again because they found a repeatable system or a repeatable process that continues to generate leads and make their clients more money. And that's extremely valuable to have, especially coming from the perspective of someone who doesn't know a lot about this, and you're looking into how you can make it work for yourself. However, there's a few key things that you're going to want to know. And when I speak, I'm speaking specifically from assuming that, the agency that you're working with is a good agency and they actually do know what they're doing. There's a lot of agencies, especially SEO agencies out there, that will sell you a dream and will try to manipulate you because you don't know anything about how search works. And there's a lot of that going on out there. I typically have to deal, the new clients that I get are usually coming from old SEO companies where they felt like nothing was getting done and they didn't feel any difference in their revenue after working with them for an entire year. And so I've come across situations like that, and I've had to actively, mend those situations in different ways, like building trust, proving that what you're saying is going to work is actually working, and tracking and things like that, just to hold everyone accountable. Not just me myself, but also the client. That way they can sleep easy at night, knowing that the things that I said are going to be done are actually being done. Um, so yeah, as far as agencies go, you want to ensure that, like I said before, that they're reputable and they've done what you're looking for them to do before. All right. The other thing you want to do is make sure that you're holding them accountable. Ask for organic search reports every single month. Ask for a list of completed projects. Ask for all the URLs that they published that month. Ask for the strategy if you don't understand it very well. Ask them to provide it to you in writing. That way, you can always go back to this and say, okay, you guys said, here's what we're going to do. Here's the expected results of this, and so on and so forth. You want to make sure that you have all of those things together because at the end of the day, it is your money that you're using to grow your business, and you don't just want to give it away frivolously. You want to give it away to experts who know how to handle it and aren't going to let you down. Okay, and that's a really big aspect when it comes to agencies or hiring agencies, is that you just want to be you just want to be on top of things. You don't just want to set it and forget it. You don't want to just pay them every month and then them never talk to you again, or them not talk to you for another 3 months or another 6 months and things like that. You want to ensure that it's a close relationship and that you're keeping tabs on everything that's happening. Right. And so that's typically what you'll have to go through with agencies. As long as they're good people and they're well experienced, then you shouldn't have much to worry about. And honestly, a lot of your lead generation should be on autopilot if they're good. Right. Now, if you're paying an agency and they actually are good at what they do, then you're going to pay a higher cost for that, right? Don't be so quick to trust an agency who's willing to sell you SEO service for $500 a month, because I'm quite sure that that person is just trying to get over on you, because there is no SEO strategy known to man that is worth you paying $500 for. And I mean that from the side of an SEO expert. For the amount of work that I put in, from strategy to development to execution to, from creating content to research tools to all these different things that I use to come up with the results that I come up with, there's no way that I can do that on $500 a month. And that's just the truth. The softwares alone that I use can add up to $500 a month or even more. And so you want to be sure that, if you're going to hire an agency, you want to pay for quality. You don't want to cheap out on SEO because you will surely pay for it, not just in opportunity cost, but also in diminished returns. Okay. So if you're searching for agencies and you come across somebody who said they can do it cheap for you, you want to raise your eyebrow. And if you want a second opinion, feel free to reach out to me via email, and I can let you know instantly whether or not someone's actually an experienced SEO expert. And I'll do that at no charge, because I truly do believe that if you're investing in SEO, then you need to put your best foot forward. And unfortunately, there's a lot of shade in this industry, and so, if you need help verifying an expert, or if you need help finding an expert outside of myself, like I said, I'm always available. But sometimes I'm not, and I need to refer you to someone else. I want to make sure that I'm that resource for you. So that's my bid on agencies. That's typically what you can expect. However, when they're good, they're great. As long as you continue seeing increased revenue every quarter, every 6 months, or even every year, then you're in good hands over the long term, right? And so that's agencies. Now I want to talk about consulting. Consulting is really just a way for you to have an expert in your pocket as you navigate doing SEO on your website. And that's important to have because if you were like me and you taught yourself, that means you learned the hard way and you learned through trial and error over the last 10 years. And not that it should take you 10 years to become an expert in SEO. It definitely didn't take me the full 10 years. However, it's a continual learning process. And the more you learn about sales and marketing, the more you learn about SEO, it's just this thing that compounds into this multifaceted skill set that companies seem to rely on simply because of its ROI opportunity. Um, but I kind of went off on a tangent there. Excuse me. So when you're hiring a consultant, like I said before, it's just you having an expert in your pocket. That way, you don't waste time trying to figure out what you should and should not be doing, whether or not this piece of content that you created is going to rank, or if you're nervous about your website not ranking for a particular page or keyword, all these different types of anxieties or uncertainties that will come up in SEO. You can have a consultant right there beside you to guide you, essentially, to show you that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and all you need to do is make a left here, make a right there, go straight there, and then make this turn here, and you'll end up at the end of the tunnel with a bunch of revenue in your pocket. And so that's what consultants are for. They're like agencies, which is why I offer both services as an agency and as a consultant. Except you're going to do the work, but this time you'll have a list of detailed observations and tasks for you to perform in order for you to achieve the results that you're looking for. And that's the main thing of it. You want to make sure that you have that in your pocket. All right, yeah. And so consultants typically cost anywhere from $500 to $1,000 per session. And these sessions are usually extremely valuable because the consultant will come into the session understanding everything about your website, about your audience, about your competitors, and they're able to formulate a very specific strategy for your website that will help it grow consistently over the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months. And that's important, really, because instead of you paying for something that you can't afford through an agency, if you're paying that $2,000 a month, by the end of the 6 months, you would have paid $12,000 to that SEO agency. Now, ideally, at the end of the 6 months, you would have generated 3x more than that amount. But that's what you can typically expect. Now, if you don't have that kind of money, if you can't afford to keep up with $2,000 a month, then you're going to have to consider hiring a consultant that will guide you on how you can do this thing yourself, and pretty much just lead the way. Now, as I mentioned before, since you'll only be paying $3,000 to $5,000 per session, you can choose to have two sessions per month, or you can choose to have one session per month where you just kind of go through everything. um, but by the end of that 6 months, you will have only paid about $3,000 to $6,000. That is a significant reduction compared to the 12,000 you would have had to pay the agency to do it for you. So it isn't more affordable. However, you will be putting in this work yourself. Thankfully, you'll know exactly what to do, when you need to do it, and how you need to do it because you've hired a consultant to pretty much carry you that entire way. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're hiring SEO help. You can go in either one of those paths. If you choose to do neither and do this all on your own, then YouTube will be your best friend. Articles will be your best friend. However, you won't know what to expect from what you're doing simply because you don't have any context and you don't have any experience. So I still highly recommend hiring a consultant if you can't afford to pay an agency to do this stuff for you. Um, like I mentioned before, it's just a lot of uncertainty around these different types of topics and these different types of things that need to get done. And you want to have somebody in your corner who has seen it all before. And so if you're watching this video and you're ready to get started, but you can't pay for an agency right now, I'm going to offer you 33% off our first session as your SEO consultant, where I'm going to walk you through everything that you need to do in order for you to be successful. That comes with me doing all the pre-work beforehand to ensure that have a good understanding of your business, your competitors, where you're located, and how exactly you can grow. Right. So again, if you're watching this and you're looking to hire a consultant, I will offer you 33% off of our first session if you just simply let me know that you found out about me through this. If you found out about the consultancy through this course, just mention the course and I'll immediately know. It's no big deal. Um, but yeah, that's what you need to know when it comes to hiring help. Okay. So I'll see you in the next coming sections where we talk about website and actual SEO strategies that are going to make you money. Okay. See you on the other side.